Hello guys, my name is Lego Rubiks, and in today's episode I'm going to show you some creations that I made in studio. So you might remember one of my old series. In that series I built things in studio. It was called Learn Digital Lego Building with me. And I built a lot of train cars in that series, but I'm not happy with them for some reasons. They aren't that good. They aren't that realistic. One of them was built in the 60s, and my layout isn't in the 60s. It's in the 2000s, so that wasn't good. And the TTX intermodal cars were designed in a way that the Jacob's buggies in the middle were too big, and it just they weren't as good. So now I made two new ones, and fixed the old ones. And now I actually tested the Jacob's buggy design in real life with a really ugly prototype that I destroyed since then. And now it works, and it's a lot smaller than the old design. So I'm going to leave the TTX intermodal cars for the end, and going to start with the tanker that I built. So this has 254 parts, and I actually built this in these submodels, and I don't have instructions for it, but when I will have, it will be a lot easier to make. So this is actually really long. It's longer than a base plate, I think so. 4, 8, 12, 16, 32 plus the overhang. So this is longer than a base plate. This tube section is a base plate long, and the old one had a floor here. This doesn't have a floor here. That was an older design, but this is a newer design. So that was white, this is black, and this is a BNSF tanker. So I made this detailing a little bit better, so it's not aligned correctly, but I will do it correctly in real life. And it's just better and more realistic, and I really like it. So now which one should we open? I think that we should go with the flatbed. Yes, so this is the flatbed. So what changed? This is lower, it's longer, and the buggies are built in a different way, and this was a really quick and easy fix, and not a lot has changed. So what we have still, so the BM flatbed is out, the tanker is out. I think the TTX. So I have two, disassembled and an assembled model. I will open the assembled one. So yes, so this is it. You can see that the Jacob's buggies are a lot smaller. The design is updated. It looks a lot more like the 53 foot long intermodal containers. So I use these grill pieces because that's more realistic than the yellow tiles that I used. And I have the brake wheels at the end, as you can see. I don't know how I did that. And yes, this wasn't a hard fix, it was a fairly quick, and I like this a lot more than the old one. So this has around 500 parts. I know that it says 7, but that's because it has 7 sub assemblies. but it actually has somewhere around 500 parts. The flatbed has 160, I think, then the tanker has 250 parts. Okay, so we went through all the train cars, but we still have some things that I made that you might like. So this is where I saw all my studio creations, and I made ballast designs. So we will have a look at all of them. So these are the switches, left and right. They are the same, but this is mirrored and this isn't. I think that we should start with the curve. If you guys want separate videos on these ballast designs, leave a comment below, or if you want a tutorial on any other MOCs mentioned in this video. I don't have building instructions right now, but if I get some requests, I will make a video with a tutorial, but now I don't have them. So I think this is one of the best ballast designs, and this was created by me. So a lot of people made ballast designs over the years. Brick Model Railroader has some really great designs, but I made my own because I always prefer making my own designs, because that's better in my opinion than copying someone else's design. So I think that you should build your own ballast designs, but if you want, I will make a tutorial on how to make this. But if you don't want to wait till then, I think that you can clearly see what type of pieces I use and how to copy this. And I know these should be angled, and in real life I will do that, of course, but I really don't like the hinge tool on studio, and I'm not going to angle this correctly. I will do it in real life, but this is perfectly fine. So we have the straight one that was really easy to make. I think if you look around on the internet, all of them are the same. So I think tutorials isn't needed here. So this is straight with a buffer. It's the same, but it has a buffer at the back. It's probably not the best buffer design, and I based it on the buffer that I saw in that abandoned train station that I had a look on the weekend, but it's not rusty. And yeah, this is very simple. I think that you can copy it based on these pictures. It's not that hard to build. And now the one that was the most complicated to build, the switches. This has almost 200 parts, but when I go over it, I think that you will see why. So I use the 9V switch because Studio doesn't have the normal switches, which was very strange in my opinion. And if you think that I dumped and I can't find them, here I will go there, and they aren't here. So I'm not dumb, they aren't here. That's why so I use the 9V switch is the same. And why this took a lot of time to make? So the curve, but that was straightforward, just copied my normal curve design. This isn't something that you're gonna copy based on the video, so I will do a tutorial on this for sure. But I have these what are these for? I think that these are supports to hold the rails in place. Sorry. So most designs don't have this here, and here and here and here and here, but my design has them. And I think that, oh, and the gap here is really tiny, and I think that that's why my design is a little bit more complicated than some of the other designs that you may found on the internet. and I'm really happy with it. So if you guys want a tutorial on any of these models, leave a comment below.